Welcome to the shooting show. This week Byron's back in Africa hunting warthog and bushpig, plus he also reviews the new Sako A7 rifle.
Still traipsing the Winterberg mountain range, Byron and Orion hunting tours guides Swayze and Defan have left the pursuit of antelope behind to go in search of one of Africa's most exciting quarry, the ferocious and challenging bushpig. After an early start, the three of them take up strategic positions facing the valley side as the houndmasters work the pack through the thick bush. On this occasion, no bushpig trails are picked up. However, high above, taunting baboons bellow down from the cliff tops. They may even find themselves behind a crosshair later in the week. Heading out on the second day, the weather has turned. It's windy and cold, making life difficult to work the pack. Despite this, they decide to try their best, taking the hounds to a valley which has proved productive in the past. The three hunters listen intently for the hollow which would signal that the pack had taken a line. As yet, there's nothing. Waiting, they discuss the events which may unfold.
Byron, it will be a running shot and you'll have these open gaps that you see.
And there's your rifle, if you want it. Or put it down against the bush.
No, I'm going to put it on my shoulder, just in case.
So you'll have to shoot really quickly.
Okay.
If you miss, don't worry, reload, try again.
Just keep on shooting.
Yeah.
Just keep lead in the air.
Yeah, because if they go...
Once you've started shooting, we're going to shoot as well.
Okay.
Because as soon as they go up there, they go along there and straight over the top to the
Catberg Mountains.
Okay.
And if they go there, we'll lose the dogs.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. So we need a dead pig, basically.
Yeah.
Again, no bushpig are found, but that's hunting for you. With a thunderstorm threatening, they call it a day while the road home is still passable.
Well, we're right in the middle of a big thunderstorm which has just passed up the valley and over the top of the Winterberg mountains. It does mean that we're going to have to change the plans which we had for tomorrow morning. We're going to head out first thing for bushpig, but when the weather's like this they just don't come out to feed overnight, and this means that there isn't any scent for the hounds to pick up and follow a trail on. We'll have to wait and see exactly what the weather brings us when we get up in the morning, but I'm sure we'll find some hunting to do. It is great when the weather's like this though.
We've almost arrived at the place that we're going to start hunting bushpig for today. We've had a couple of unsuccessful days, mainly due to the weather. But just down in this valley below me, we're going to drive down and see if the dogs can pick up a scent. It's going to be very, very difficult to film most of this because the bush is so thick when we're going through. So the vast majority is going to be filmed on a little camera strapped to me. So hopefully you'll be able to get some sort of idea of just how exciting it is to be in there after the pigs when the dogs are on the trail. So we're just going to get back in the trucks now and drive down the road and hopefully get started.
For now, Byron and Defan look on as the pack is deployed, but shortly the hard work will begin again. Byron is familiar with the ground, having hunted bushpig here before, and knows that as with last time, this was going to be a physical test. Soon the hounds have taken a line. Now the hunters just have to forge a way through the thick bush while following the speaking hounds. On the other side of a small rock face, the pig seems to be cornered. Annoyingly, just when they think they may have it, the bushpig slips out and back down the valley. The hounds soon work this out and lock back onto the scent. Again, Swayze and Byron chase after the pack. It is exhausting work, but the adrenaline keeps them going. Bleeding and sweating buckets, they continue to charge through the bush, heading towards the singing hounds. This is not a hunt for the faint-hearted as they crawl and scrabble over rocks and through thick thorn bushes. The houndmaster has the pig in sight and the hounds are following close behind. It's now a race. Eventually the hounds will bear the pig in a thicket. Then the hunters have to get there as quickly as possible to dispatch the beast before it gets tired and charges the hounds in desperation. They need to approach the pig in a way that they will go unnoticed. If it breaks its concentration from the hounds and spots them, a charge is very likely indeed. This is a serious matter and the results could even be fatal. Byron cautiously steps forward, raising the shotgun. As the pack move back and out of shot, he hits the pig with a full load of SGs from his shotgun.
Here we go, Byron!
The camera was blurred by the sun, but thankfully the pig is down.
Okay. Just make sure it's dead, Byron. Okay, he's good.
I think that's it. Is this a young pig, Sways?
Yeah, it's a young boar. It's not very old. It's like probably 4 years old.
I think he collected almost all of the pellets, I think.
Yeah, most around it, yeah.
The hunt is over. Now the carcass has to be dragged out and back to camp. It is not, however, the only pig species being hunted here. Now the team are after warthog. Having seen a few waters in the mountains the day before, the three hunters head back to the same spot. Byron explains why they are so keen to shoot them.
We saw some warthog amongst these aloes a couple of days ago. So we've just come back to try and catch up with them. They cause quite a big problem up here and on the low ground as well, where they undermine fences and eat a lot of the grazing which is planted for sheep and cattle. They don't have a huge number of them up here in the mountains, so it's a good idea just to keep on top of the numbers and keep everything in check.
We saw the pigs here about 2 days ago. I see the dogs are also starting to smell something, so the one looks right, so if we go forward we might get a chance of seeing something.
Okay, I'll follow you.
Unaware of its impending doom, they soon locate the tusked menace merrily foraging through some thick cover. Byron and Sways navigate to a suitable shooting position.
Okay, Byron, if you look carefully through here, you could actually see the pig's head. It's busy grazing there.
Can I just have a look with this?
Okay.
Okay, I've got it in face on. Just as soon as he turns, I'll do it.
Okay, good.
Yeah, he's down.
Okay, congratulations, Byron.
With another successful hunt completed in Africa by Orion hunting tours, Byron and the team head back to camp. It's not quite over though. There's still a few more adventures to share and you will see these in the coming weeks on The Shooting Show.
Some fast and furious pig hunting action from Byron there. And now, the Shooting Show news.
This is the Shooting Show news. BSA Guns has brought production of the Lightning XL Tactical back to the UK. The MoveSee's Spring Air Rifles roll out of BSA's Birmingham base for the first time since parent company Gammo moved the process to its Spanish factory. BSA's Managing Director Simon Moore made the announcement at the Midland Game Fair and promised that the whole rifle will be British made. Full story in the November issue of Airgun Shooter, on sale Thursday. Non-native species are flooding Europe at a higher rate than previously thought, according to a new report. The International Union for the Conservation of Nature found that 71 mammal species had been introduced to the continent over the past 5,000 years, of which 27 had a directly damaging effect on native species. The American mink was classed as the most dangerous of all, affecting 47 native species, including 6 classified as threatened. Team GB's Ed Ling finished one place off the medals in the men's trap at the World Cup in Maribor last Sunday. Ling finished qualification in second place, but dropped 3 in the 25-bird final to narrowly miss out on a medal. Aguzan Tuzan of Turkey took the gold with a total of 145 plus 3, while Alexei Alipov of Russia and Jesus Serrano of Spain took silver and bronze respectively. In the ladies' trap, Abby Burton failed to make the final, scoring 63x75 to finish in 11th place. Deputy Prime Minister Nick Clegg gave his public support to the badger cull at the Liberal Democrat Party conference. Clegg stated that the distressing idea of culling badgers needed to be balanced against the huge distress and pain cattle experience themselves and the massive psychological, emotional and financial distress caused to farmers and their family. This comes despite a petition against the cull gaining the 100,000 signatures required to bring it to the attention of Parliament. More on this story in the next issue of Modern Gamekeeping. Jack Thompson of North Yorkshire has been crowned 410 World Champion, scoring 47x50 at the event at Mid Wales Shooting Centre. The event last weekend saw a record turnout of 114 entries, with Chris Napthine coming second with 45 and Paul Chaplow in third with 44. Full report in the next issue of Clay Shooting. That was the Shooting Show News.
This week we are taking a look at the latest rifles to hit the market. I have the chance to shoot the new Sako A7. The A7 is the newest offering from Sako. They currently have on the market their Sako 85, which is incredibly popular. And from the same company we also have Tikka, which everybody knows and loves and is generally accepted as one of the best value for money rifles on the market. Both Tikka and Sako inherently shoot very well. So I'm hoping that the A7 is going to be just the same. In terms of makeup, it feels very nice. It feels very much like the Sako 85 synthetic stock. It has a soft touch finish to it, quite slim lines. What it doesn't have is the rubberized inserts where the grips occur on the pistol grip and on the forestock here. It's actually a stipple which is built into the stock, but I actually quite like it. I possibly even prefer it to the rubberized inserts on the 85. The receiver itself looks very similar to the 75-85 receiver. The lines are slightly different, but there's not a lot in it, to be honest. What is noticeable is anybody familiar with Sako rifles will know that they have a tapered dovetail rail which you can mount your scope on. With this, it is actually drilled and tapped and provided with Weaver style bases. So it should be cheaper to be able to mount a scope on here than on the Sako 85. The other thing which is noticeable is, as opposed to the 85, which cut away the previous rifle, the 75's face, to give you a sort of semi-controlled feed, on this A7 they've gone back to the Sako 75, the old model bolt face, with 3 lugs and the classic Sako extractor. What they have changed is that the ejector on this is the same as the Tikka. It's a sprung plunger ejector, as opposed to the fixed ejector which you find on the 75 and 85. So that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's the same that you'll find on a Hauer, for example, and it works very well. The bolt release is exactly the same as you'll find on an 85, 75, and very similar to what you find on a Tikka. And the barrel free-floated and cold hammer forged, the same as all the barrels that Sako produce. The trigger unit has been pulled straight from the 85, which in actual fact I don't think it's been changed at all since the 75. There was no need to change it. It worked very well. I've always been a massive fan of Sako triggers. Very crisp, no creep whatsoever. It's just a very, very nice trigger unit to use. One of the nice things that they have taken from the upgraded 85 model and put it into this A7 is the new magazine system, in that on the 75 you just press the lever down and the magazine would eject. Possibly you could end up losing your magazine that way if you inadvertently pressed it and didn't realize and it dropped out in the field. With the 85 and the A7, you actually have to press the magazine in. You've got to depress it before pressing the release lever, and then the magazine will come out. Looking at the magazine itself, it is different to the 85. It is very, very similar to the Tikka, which is not such a great thing because it's all made of plastic, keeping costs down, I assume. But what they have done to improve it over the Tikka is they've given it metal lips, which should mean that the magazine lasts a bit longer. And it is actually noticeable that it feeds a bit nicer with these metal lips as well. So that's quite a nice thing. The trigger guard arrangement, unfortunately is a plastic affair. It's exactly the same shape as you'll find on the 85, but they're molded out of plastic like they have the Tikka. A little bit annoying, I guess, and another sort of cost-saving exercise. And the second most frustrating thing, though, is the fact that on this bolt, the bolt shroud at the back is made of the same quite cheap-feeling plastic material that you get on Tikka. And it's one of the first things that Tikka owners want to replace is this plastic bolt shroud. I've removed the action screws, so now we can separate the rifle out. And this reveals exactly how the metalwork is secured in terms of the recoil lug system to the stock. And what Sako have done is that they've adopted the floating recoil lug that you have on Tikka. It is a system which seems to work. Tikkos inherently shoot very, very well. But for me personally, I like to see a solid recoil lug. Sako have gone through a number of systems over the years. If you go back to the Finbear and Forester era, that was an integral machine recoil lug which was part of the receiver. As far as I'm concerned, that is the best method. This seems to work. I don't particularly like it, but that is what they've adopted from the Tikka design. Now, Sako rifles are very, very well known for shooting brilliantly straight out the box, and I have no doubt that this is going to produce the goods as well. From a reliability standpoint, I mean, I really do like the stock. These synthetic stocks last a lifetime. They are, you know, the ultimate model of rifle to buy, especially if you're a professional. You're going to be out in the elements a lot. The cold hammer forged barrels last a very, very long time. The trigger unit on this is excellent. Very, very smooth bolt, excellent safety catch. This rifle is going to do exactly what you want to do it, despite the couple of criticisms that I have. I suppose all that's left now is to see exactly how it shoots, and I'm looking forward to that. Well, as I expected, Sako A7 shoots very well. That's 3 shots into about, I don't know, 0.75 of an inch, something like that. You can't really complain with that. Definitely a shooter.
That's it for this week. Thanks for watching. We're out every Monday, 7:30 PM UK time. This is The Shooting Show.